Hello all and welcome to TVM Academy. This is VARC 100, a free practice course for CAT verbal section. RC number 35 of the series. Let's begin. A quick synopsis of the passage first. In the first paragraph, author tells us that species interdependence can sometimes be dangerous. In the second paragraph, he gives us an example. Studies indicate that spraying of pesticide metacil killed certain insects that used to pollinate some indigenous plant species, thereby reducing the fertility of this plant species as well, fecundity of the plant species. And then in the third paragraph, discussion becomes more generic. He says plants that exclusively rely on insect pollinators for multiplication, which have a short lifespan and which are spread in a narrow geographical range. Such plants are the most vulnerable to pesticide use because there's no other means of reproduction that they practice. They are entirely dependent upon insect pollinators. They also have a very short lifespan, so they can get eliminated too quickly. So these are the most vulnerable plant species. And finally, in the last paragraph, he gives a suggestion that these plants require special efforts, special conservation efforts. Please note, as we have discussed earlier, the ending note is mostly the main idea of the passage. So the last part where author says that there are certain plant species which are more vulnerable to pesticide use and they should be taken care of. Effort should be made to conserve them. This is the main idea, therefore. Let's look at the questions now. Question 1, main point. Option A, species interdependence is a point of weakness for some plants. Correct. But it is generally beneficial to insects. Alien idea. Nowhere in the passage it is mentioned that it is beneficial to insects. Option B, efforts to control the spruce budworm. Okay, metacil was sprayed to control spruce budworm. Is it right? Let's check. So to control the spruce budworm, metacil was sprayed. Okay, yes. So if efforts to control the spruce budworm have had deleterious effects on the red osier dogwood, is it the plant species that suffered because of metacil? Let's check. So here, the fecundity of plants in one common indigenous species, the red osier dogwood, was significantly reduced. So yes, option B is correct. However, is it the main idea of the passage? Please note, red osier dogwood has been used as an example in the passage for a broader discussion that some plant species are more vulnerable to pesticide use, and therefore option B is narrow in scope. It is just an example. It is not the main idea. The main idea is that certain species of plants are more vulnerable to pesticide use and therefore they should be protected. Option B could be the correct answer, but it is narrow, not the correct answer. Let's look for a better option and a broader option. Option C, the use of pesticides may be endangering certain plant species dependent on insects for pollination. Exactly what we are looking for. So this is broader than option B. It does not. It is not limited in scope to red osier or dogwood. It is more broad. Okay, more general in nature. Option D, the spraying of pesticides can reduce the fecundity of a plant species. Correct, but probably does not affect its overall population stability. This part is contradictory to what the passage says. It can affect its overall population stability, especially if the plant is exclusively dependent on insects for reproduction or for multiplication. Therefore, option D is contradictory, factually incorrect. It can affect. Question 2. According to the author, a flowering plant species whose fecundity has declined due to pesticide spraying may not experience an overall population decline if the plant species can do which of the following? Simple answer. It was mentioned in the third paragraph that plant species which are dependent exclusively solely on seeds for survival or dispersal are obviously more vulnerable. On the other hand, vegetative growth and dispersal by means of shoots or runners are available as alternative reproductive strategies. So if plants can practice vegetative growth or dispersal by means of shoots and runners, then they can still survive. So option A should be the correct answer. Its population will not decline if it can exercise reproduction by means of shoots and runners, vegetative growth or dispersal. Option B, survive to the end of the growing season. Nowhere mentioned alien. Survive the harsh climate, alien. Respond to the fecundity decline by producing more flowers. It is actually logically paradoxical. Fecundity decline in fecundity means that it cannot produce more flowers. So if fecundity has already declined, how can it produce more flowers? Paradoxical, logically cannot be the answer. Option 3, the passage suggests that lack of an observed decline in the fecundity of the creeping dogwood, the second species, creeping dogwood here, strengthens the researcher's conclusion regarding pesticide use because what? It was clearly mentioned the creeping dogwood's population was not affected, its fecundity also was not affected because it is pollinated by large bees such as bumblebees, which showed no significant decline. These large bees are not affected by metacil, the pesticide. And because their populations did not decline, this creeping dogwood's fecundity also did not decline. So that is what they are trying to prove. Option A, creeping dogwood is a species that does not resemble other forest plants. Alien idea, not the idea, resemblance. Creeping dogwood is a species pollinated by a broader range of insect species. It's not broader, it's different. Broader range would mean the passage should mention more than one insect species that creeping dogwood is pollinated by. It only mentions one, bumblebees, the large bees. So we don't know whether the range of insects is broad. We only know that it is a different range. It is a different, different insects basically pollinated. Okay. Option C, creeping dogwood grows primarily in regions that were not sprayed with pesticides and so served as a control for the experiment. Alien idea. The regions were the same. Creeping dogwood is similar to red osier dogwood mentioned in the passage. This species is highly dependent on this. The creeping dogwood is a species similar to the red osier dogwood. So this part is okay. But its insect pollinators are known to be insensitive. So bumblebees are not affected by the spraying of metacil. It is insensitive to the pesticide used in the study. So option D should be the correct answer. That's what it proves. Question 4. Passage suggests that which of the following is true of the forest regions of New Brunswick sprayed with most anti-budworm pesticides other than metacil. Please note, metacil has been called the least toxic pesticide. Metacil has been called the least toxic pesticide, which means that the regions which were sprayed with other pesticides must have experienced more insect death and therefore more harm to the fecundity of plants dependent on these insects. That should be the logical relation. Let's see. Option A, the fecundity of some flowering plants in those regions may have decreased to an even greater degree than in the regions where metacil is used. Correct answer. Because metacil is the least toxic, so it kills minimum number of insects, therefore it causes minimum damage to certain plants. But other than metacil, if you spray something, some other insecticide, it kills more insects, therefore causes more harm to some plant species. Option A should be the correct answer. Insect mortality in those regions occurs mostly among the larger species of insects such as the bumblebees. Where does this come from? Bumblebees are known to be the insect pollinators of a different species altogether. So metacil or non-metacil is not relevant here in case of bumblebees. Irrelevant. The number of seeds produced by common plant species in these regions is probably comparable to the number produced where metacil is sprayed. Not at all. It is contradictory to what the passage suggests. If metacil is the least toxic, it should cause least damage as well. So other regions should not produce the same number of seeds. The seeds should reduce. Many more plant species have become extinct. Extinction was never an idea. In fact, author has never said that the indigenous plant red dozier, red dogwood, whatever its name is, has become extinct. Not at all. So we cannot really say that in other places also they have become extinct. They have suffered more damage maybe because of more toxic pesticides, but we can't assume that they have become extinct. So extreme statement. Okay. Last question. Can be inferred which of the following is true of plant fecundity as it is defined in the passage. What is fecundity? All right. So they studied the metacill's effects on insect mortality in a wide variety of wild insect species and on plant fecundity, which is expressed as percentage of total flowers on an individual plant that actually developed fruit and bore seeds. Okay. So if there are 100 flowers on a plant, 100 flowers, and out of these 100, 60 become fruit, 60 become fruit, then the fecundity of this plant is a 60%. Fruit or seeds, fruit and seeds. Okay. So option A plant's fecundity decreases. Plant's fecundity decreases as the percentage of unpollinated flowers on the plant increases. Unpollinated means that will not bear fruit. So if right now 40 is unpollinated, 40 are unpollinated. If 70 now are unpollinated and only 30 will bear fruit, the fecundity decreases to 30%. Yes, so option A is the correct answer. That's exactly what he's saying. So as the number of unpollinated flowers increase, the fecundity of the plant decreases. Okay. A plant's fecundity decreases as the number of flowers produced by the plant decreases. Not the number of flowers, it's a percentage of flowers that matters. Percentage of flowers that bear fruit. Not the absolute number of flowers. Option C, plant's fecundity increases as the number of flowers produced by the plant. Again, number. Talks about number. It's not number. The percentage of flowers that bear that convert into fruit, that should increase, not the absolute number of flowers. A plant's fecundity is usually low if the plant relies on a small number of insect species for pollination. No, there are other factors also. What are the other factors? Vegetative growth, geographical range, the spread, the lifespan. So these are all other factors on which the fecundity depends. So it's not entirely dependent on the number of insect species on which the plant is dependent. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this exercise. A nice read, easy to moderate level questions, not difficult. I hope you got all of them right. I hope you're improving, guys. Those who might have watched this video for the first time or might have visited our page, YouTube channel for the first time, the PDFs of these RCs are available on our Telegram group. The same RCs are also uploaded as tests on our portal. You may sign up for this free course on our website, the link to which is available in the description box of this video. Please like the video, keep sharing word about TVM Academy with your friends, and keep learning, keep improving. Cheers to learning. Bye.